Must have bumped that thing. Now watch me screw it up. Alright, it looks okay. Must have bumped it last night. Damn it. Hey, look who just walked in the kitchen. Pull up a chair. Grab a cup of coffee. How are you doing? The eyes getting better day by day? Mic sounds good? Okay. I bumped it. It was a little wonky. I don't know how the hell I did that. Everything's supposed to be tightened down. Evidently, I didn't tighten down the set screw over here. I was out looking for the auxiliary monitor because I run multiple cameras and the auxiliary monitor will accept 2 cameras. I have a backup camera that aims down towards the pavement. Then I have a camera I use like a rear view. Like the new cars, on some of them you can actually use a camera instead of a rear view mirror. Then I mount a camera under the front bumper. So that way when I'm pulling in somewhere, I'm not going to bang into something. So I have more goddamn automotive cameras and monitors, and the neat one that I've got is it's a giant rear view mirror. It's like 2.5 times the width of a normal, and it's really cool because the way it's set up, as soon as I go into reverse, the reverse camera pops up in the rear view mirror. And then when I go into first gear, it turns on a dash cam. Now, I don't have a memory card plugged into it yet, but I could be like a police car and have a dash cam. Hey, the Runbo's here! All right, let's get started. Oh, wonderful. Just as I say, let's get started, the frickin' tablet goes dark. Broadcasting live from station WDWL TV. Studio 1. Corporate offices located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard, and my 2 personal studios are located on Grumpy Old Man Road. And the show is brought to you by Grumpy Vulture Productions. Take your bow. Pain in the ass. How come every time you bow you screw up your banners? And the grumpy jackalope. Okay, that's enough. Conserve on power. Lights out. And happy birthday to Runbo. Happy birthday to Runbo. Just to let everybody know, he's celebrating his 29th birthday again. Hey, Rudy, how are you, buddy? Good to see you back. Mother Nature sent me a big present. A tomato. No, tornado. Holy shit. You've been having some weather out there. God damn. I think it's time for you to move to safer quarters. Although I couldn't tell you where. Cleveland, we have 2 seasons. Winter and winter. And for maybe a month, we have some summer. This summer this year sucked here. It really did. The only good thing is the weather into fall has been pretty decent. And hopefully all my spools of wire that I ordered get here tomorrow, because I have a shitload of wiring to do on the Passat. I mounted 3 sets of fog lights on the front bumper. The 4th set will be mounted tomorrow. And then I forgot all about it. I have a 24-inch LED light bar that came off of a Jeep that I'm going to mount under the back bumper. And that way I'll have one hell of a backup light. The two outer edges are fog beams, and then the center is spot beams. So I put green filters over the center section. So basically, when I go to use it for a backup light, it will light up in a arrow pattern out to the sides of white, and then in the center I'll have green. And my neighbors are like, oh God, this asshole and his green lights. I have 2 of those. The second one, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. I'll need a twin alternators by the time, well, no, LEDs, and I don't run everything. But I can't wait to get all those fog lights hooked up on that front bumper. Because I have 2 3x3, and I forgot all about the amber fog lamps. They have 4 LED beams in them. Those suckers are bright. Then I have the 2 3x3 green, and then it's either a 10 or a 12-inch green mounted below. That thing is going to light up like a Christmas tree. And the whole thing is, I don't do much night driving. But when I want some extra light, it'll be there. You know, Kathy, that's mainly why I put all those LEDs on the front bumper. Because if I do have to go out at night and we're having a snowstorm, I want that road lit up as much as possible. And the way I aim the beams, I keep them down. So they're not going to blind anybody. But boy, the road will be lit up from curb to curb. You know, Rudy, sooner or later, there will be no incandescent bulbs anymore. Like you look at the new cars. The taillights are all LEDs. The problem is, if for some reason those LEDs would burn out, you have to replace the whole fucking taillight, the whole assembly. You can't change a bulb like in the Passat. If a turn signal burns out, I can replace a bulb. Not on these new cars. Same thing with the headlights. You replace the whole goddamn assembly. So, you know, back in the day, you go to the auto parts store and buy 2 bulbs for $1. Now you go to the dealer and spend $400 for a taillight assembly. I see more older vehicles where, like the third brake light, there's only 2 LED bulbs working, and the tail lights, half the LEDs are burned out. Sooner or later, you know, the cops are going to pull you over and go, your tail light's only half working, citation. Yeah, they look cool. They light up brighter. They use less voltage, or amperage, I should say. But the whole is, you throw it away. Take that big tail light out, throw it away. We are turning into a throwaway society. You know what's the most expensive out of all LEDs? Green. I'm slowly finding that out. When I bought my 3x3 LED in green, they were twice the price. I could have got white for like $11. I paid $41 for a pair. But that's because I wanted green. Although the 12-inch light bar, I got that off of Temu for $8. And it's the same identical light that I got from an American company. Oh, Kathy, I can't wait. I'm gonna order the HID green headlight kit. And that way I will have green headlights. When I light up all that green, that car is, you'll know it's a green car. I decided I'm going to spend the money and I'm going to order the HID kit in green for the headlights to go with all the green fog lights on the front bumper. As a matter of fact, I have over in my workbench green LED bulbs that I bought. The idea hit me. I'm going to put green LED bulbs inside my police siren. It's a rectangular, like same thing the police cars have. I'm going to backlight it with green LEDs. I thought of that today. I was like, oh, that's going to be so cool. Light up a siren speaker with green LED backlights. I've got them over here. I bought 100 of them. There is a young guy that lives up the street, Kathy, that has a new Jeep. And every light on it is green. And the headlights are unbelievable. They look like pissed off eyes. He's got a green light bar pod on the roof. And then he's got the green headlights. And then he's got green fog lights. And then he's got green lights in the fenders. That Jeep is so cool at night. I can never catch the kid. I want to find out where he bought some of his lights. Originally, they make a curved light bar that mounts over the top of the windshield. But it was white. And next thing I noticed, he has they're pod lights. I don't know where he got them. It's 4 square pod lights mounted on a neat roof bar. It is so cool. And the Jeep, it's the pickup truck Jeep, the one with the bed on the back. And it's got the Army insignias on the door and on the hood. It looks so cool. It's in that Army green, and then he lights all them green lights. But the headlights, when it's coming down the road, make the Jeep look like it's pissed off. I don't know where he got them, but they are so cool. I think what I'm going to do, I have these lower grills under the bumper. I'm going to try to see if I can pop them out carefully And then I'm going to mount them blue LED fog lamps, inconspicuous. And then I'll just turn them on when I'm driving around the neighborhood. I'm not going to go out on Main Road with them. I don't need to get pulled over. Although, God, I see cars with every color of the rainbow headlights now. There's a girl 2 streets over that's got a Honda Accord, and it's got purple headlights. And if the police haven't stopped her, like I say, years ago, oh, you'd have got ticketed, towed, your vehicle would have got impounded. Now, every color of the rainbow. But before I get all this shit, I got to get that alternator on. They were too busy to talk today, man. They were like a cat covering elephant shit. I pulled in and I walked up to the door, and the son went, We're too busy. We're running behind. I says, all right, I'll stop tomorrow. I was going through some boxes yesterday morning in the basement. I have strobe lights that I can mount in the headlamps assembly. I'm thinking of doing that too. That way all this shit, and what am I? A normal citizen when you come down to it. Who needs all that shit? But I figure if I have it, use it. In the morning when I get up and I make my coffee, I do a lot of reading, probably 15, 20 different news websites. I came across a shocking, and I mean shocking, study that was done last year. Nationwide study was done by, oh God, I can't remember what university. I never even heard of them before. I can't think of the university. They did a poll nationwide, and how they found information from 100 years ago is amazing. 100 years ago, 1925, the average, and now listen to this is shocking. The average age where a girl would lose her virginity was 25. 1925, the age of the average girl was 25. In 2025, the average age is 13. I was like, holy shit. Scary. Totally scary. Although with so much shit on the internet, I could kind of understand. I mean, God, sex education in school back in my day was like nothing. You were basically told, don't. Okay. 13. Unbelievable. They say basically by the time a girl reaches the age of 18, she's been with a minimum of 6 different partners from the age of 13 to 19. Goddamn world's going to shit in the handbasket, I'll tell you. Although driving past, the junior high school, some of them junior high school girls look like they're 25. What's this goddamn world coming to? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Ron with his lemon and harangued pie. I called Gigantic Eaglet and I asked how far in advance I have to place an order for a Boston cream pie. She said a week. I says, a week? She says, well, you think we're going to bake one? I marked the calendar, order pie, Yeah, I figured I could call the day before. Nope. I have to give them a week's notice. Because she said they will bake at least a dozen. And hopefully they sell. I told her, I said, I don't want a dozen, I one. Although it would be nice to have a dozen of them. That's the way to start a birthday run. Have the birthday cake for breakfast. Good for you. I hope you enjoyed every bite. You know something I thought of? I'm working on the car, and these strange things come out of nowhere. I remember my Italian aunt and uncle. They would eat dinner, and after they ate the main course, they would then eat their salad. They didn't eat the salad before the main course. They ate it after. And I always thought that was strange. And my uncle told me, if you eat the salad first, it takes away your appetite and you might not finish the main course. So you eat the main course and then you eat the salad. I'm not broadcasting on Facebook. I can't. Not with my goddamn Prism. In order for me to broadcast on two platforms simultaneously, I have to buy Prism Plus. And I'm not paying $9.99 a month for a bunch of shit I'm not going to use. I'm not going to use the green screen, and I could put ears and a nose on myself on the screen and look like a bunny rabbit or a cat. I ain't going to use that shit. So I have basic for free, and I have to choose. Am I going to broadcast on YouTube, or am I going to broadcast on Faceplant? But I can't do both at once, like I used to. That's why I lost all my hospital friends, because they were watching on Faceplant. If you notice, none of the girls from the hospital, Sherry and Linda and Annie, none of them are. And I miss, Sherry coming in because, she had just lost her husband, and we kind of, propped her up a little bit and made her feel better, but I don't know why they won't switch over to YouTube. Nothing hard about it. You're not seeing Rudy's comments? That's interesting. Nobody is blocked. My wrench doesn't show up anymore. That was the only one that could block anybody. That's strange. You're seeing Ron's. I don't know why you wouldn't see Rudy's. That's really strange. Although what's interesting is you have a #1 purple crown, and Ron and Rudy have #2 violet crowns. I don't know what the difference between bright purple and light violet, but yours say #1, and Ron and Rudy say #2 with a little crown. I think it's a crown. Yeah, it looks like a crown. Imperial margarine, fit for a king. Where the hell did that come out of? My mother used to buy that shit. Grease in a stick. And my father demanded butter. And I'll never forget the day. We had 2 butter dishes in the fridge. And they were glass. They were identical. And I'll never forget the day my father grabbed the goddamn Imperial margarine. He put it on his toast. He took a bite. He grabbed the stick right out of the butter dish and threw it against the wall. My mother come in from shopping and he's like, "Who put that on the wall?" My father said, "It's fucking grease." So she immediately went out and bought a completely different butter dish for her Imperial margarine. Grease in a stick. My father demanded butter. And so do I. I had to break in every new wife. And I tell her, get a notepad. Now I'm going to tell you what gets purchased in this household. #1, butter. Not margarine. Butter. #2, Hellman's mayonnaise. #3, Heinz ketchup. Not Hunt's. Heinz. Next, French's mustard. Next, Miracle Whip. Next, at that time it was Red Hot hot sauce. Now it's Cholula. I said, you come home with anything other than that, you'll find it in the garbage. I'll never forget the come home with generic mayonnaise. it went in the garbage. Brand new, unopened. I opened the cupboard and I went, what the hell's this shit? Gone. Next day she opened the cupboard and went, where'd the mayonnaise go? I just bought it. It's out in the garbage. Why'd you throw it out? Because it's not Hellman's. Oh, God, my grandfather loved Plockmans. It looks like a little barrel. He used to get that all the time. I don't know why I went to French's. Because that was the only mustard I ever ate. Yeah, it comes in a plastic container. It looks like a little barrel. Yeah, Plockmans. Oh, man. I'll have to buy one next time I go to the store and do a taste comparison. I don't know why I went to French's. I don't. Because 99.9% of the stuff I ate at my grandparents' house, I continued on with. Oh, every now and then I'll get some. If I get a taste for it, I'll get some horseradish mustard. Or just a plain jar of horseradish. I'll never forget I can't remember which ex-wife. I had a nice big chunk of Hungarian sausage in a nice big fresh bakery roll. And I was ladling out horseradish on it. She's like, oh my God, how can you eat that shit? Very easy, watch. Oh, she put the horseradish mustard on it. Oh, the ham don't taste right. My grandfather used to grind his own horseradish. He'd go down to the West Side Market and get a big horseradish root. And you think my grandmother raised a shit fit with Limburger cheese? When he got out the grinder and started grinding that horseradish, oh my God. She opened every window, every door, and I think she sawed holes in the roof. Yeah, every now and then my grandfather would get a taste for horseradish and grind his own with a hand grinder. Not like today, you know, bring out the old buzz bomb machine and matter of fact, the first time he come home with a horseradish root, I was like, what the hell is that thing, a white stick? He said, stick around, kid. He got the potato peeler out and cleaned it, cut it into sections, then started grinding. Oh my God, my eyes were burning. My grandmother had the fastest apron in the West. Standing by the door fanning. You're stinking up the house. Oh, I never thought of that. Well, you could use them hand grinders for whatever, you know. They had them all kinds of attachments on them. Yeah, he would hand grind his horseradish, and God, I can't remember what it was, either a Hungarian or a Slovak dish. My grandmother would hand grind meat. Oh, when she made stuffed cabbage, she would go down to the West Side Market and get a big chunk of meat, and then she would grind her own. I don't know why she just didn't get fresh ground meat. That hand grinder got a workout at their house, I'll tell you that. Can you still buy them? I wonder if you can still buy them. I don't wander through, you know, the kitchen departments, and although I hardly go to department stores, they still make them. I'll be damned. You know what, Kathy, what amazed me? A couple weeks ago, there was a commercial on TV for a shoe spreader. My grandfather had one. Stick it in the shoe and you crank. It would it would widen the shoe if it was a little tight. I didn't know they still made them. Here was this commercial, and this woman slips off her shoe and he goes, "Oh, it's a little tight." And she comes out with the shoe spreader. And you can get attachments for corns. And she puts the attachment in and twists the shoe. So you can still buy the old grinders, huh? Wow. Not that I want to grind anything. Unbelievable. But you know, kids nowadays, they probably look at that in the store and go, "What the hell's that thing?" It's a meat grinder or a nut grinder. They'd say, "Well, why do we need that? We got a Cuisinart, you know." Homeless Depot? Although, you know what, Kathy? I have yet to go from one end of the store to the other. Because I don't like wandering around. I'm the type of person, I have a list, I get what's on the list, and I go. I have yet to walk through the whole store. I guess the next time I go to the homeless depot, I'm going to have to go from one wall to the other wall and zigzag and see what they have. That would have been one of the last places I would have thought you could buy a meat grinder. Oh yeah, well, Kathy, you're getting antique quality. If you're buying at a yard sale, you know that it's been around for 40, 50, 60 years. I guess I'm going to have to wander through the homeless depot. Because I've heard people say, oh, I bought this such and such at homeless depot. I'm like, what? Yeah, Marianne bought pillows, bed pillows. I said, at Home Depot? She goes, oh, yeah, they got pillows, sheets, drapes, you name it. I said, the store up the corner? She said, well, yeah. I said, I didn't know they carried that. But see, like I say, I make a list. When I have everything on the list, it's checkout time. I don't wander through the store like, oh, my son's mother. Oh, God. I couldn't shop with her. I think she looked at every single product in the store. Well, I do 90% of my shopping online. I'm going to feel sorry for my poor postal carrier tomorrow when she lugs in them 40-pound box of automotive wire spools. She has yet to say anything. I know when she's putting all the shit in the mail truck, she's like, oh, for Christ's sake, that grumpy got all this shit again. She delivers with a smile. Here you go. If I'm not out working in the yard or on a car or something, she rings the bell to let me know I have packages. Not like goddamn Amazon. You know, I was thinking today, Kathy, whoever got my email probably printed those pictures and probably hung one in his office. And when a new employee got hired, this is a no-no. You don't deliver a box under a sign that says, deliver to side door. Here's something for you, Kathy. I have a brand new toaster oven from 1948. My buddy's mother got it as a Christmas gift. And in 1948, she was afraid to use it. So it stayed in the box, and she put it in her attic. And my buddy dragged it down, and the box disintegrated. And I have it. I can't remember what make it is. I'll have to look. I've yet to plug it in because it's brand new. But it goes back to 1948. And it's got a rotisserie in it. Oh, it's a top of the line toaster oven for 1948. She was afraid to use it. Oh, I'm going to set the house on fire. And she put it in the box and put it in the attic. It's never been plugged in. Never. Yep. Cloth cord. Still wound up like the factory. But cloth cord. That's how you can tell it's old. That's like the reading lamp that I had that was my grandparents'. My grandfather had it over the edge of the couch so he could read his magazines and that. And the cloth cord got so frayed, I had to replace it. I replaced it with standard plastic, only to find out you can buy the old cloth cord. So one day, I'm going to take the steady plastic and I'm going to put the old cloth back on that lamp. Because they bought that lamp like in 1923, 24. My father was born in 25, and they said they had it before he was born. It still has the original cloth shade. It's filthy I'm afraid to clean it for fear I'd destroy it. Yeah, you can buy the replacement cloth cord. I didn't think they still made it. They make it for restoring old electronic items. So I'm going to order, and I'm going to rip that plastic cord out of that lamp, and I'm going to put cloth in it. Because I use that lamp all the time. Since all of my tool bags and everything are in the living room, it's right in the middle. I turn it on, and it lights up all my tools, and I'm like, oh, okay, here's my wrenches, here's the screwdrivers. I wish I could get a a lampshade for it. But the lampshade is original. It's filthy, I'll admit. I'm afraid to clean it for fear I'll destroy it. But the old original cloth lampshade is still on it. Got the original pull chain. It still works. I love that lamp. I snatched it before my mother saw it. The gold plating is all fallen off over the years. But halfway up, you have a center tube, and halfway up is a large glass ball. It looks like a cat's eye marble. It's about the size of a tennis ball. It is so cool. You have this big base, and then the center, and then halfway up is a large glass marble. When's the last time you saw something like that? A couple of years ago, I took it to a dry cleaner. They were afraid to touch it because it was so old. The girl said it might fall apart. I was like, "Ugh." That's all right. Nobody sees it. Nobody sees it. It's my living room lamp. But that glass ball in the middle of the stem is so neat. That's how you can tell that sucker's old. Like I say, my father was born in 25, and my grandfather said they had it before he was born. So they probably bought it in 23 or 24. That sucker's over 100 years old. And still works. And I'm going to put the old cloth cord back on it. And the hardware, the old mom and pop hardware shop up the street from me has the round Bakelite plastic plug. Two-prong. Because it has a round Bakelite two-prong plug. And I'm going to get a new one because this one's so old it's starting to crack. I wish I could find somebody to redo the gold plating on it. But I like the patina. Because I know there's only been two owners. My grandparents and me. Yeah, when my mother wasn't looking, I ducked it out of my grandparents' house when she had the antique dealer in buying everything up. And she was like, "Where's that reading lamp that your grandfather had?" I said, "I don't know. Somebody must have stole it." I wish I could have ducked that goddamn RCA radio. That was, oh, that, I think she got like $50 for it. The antique dealer probably sold it for a couple thousand, because the wood cabinet was gorgeous and it still worked. Because my grandmother used to listen to the Cleveland Indian baseball game. And God forbid, don't breathe. Although she used to warn us. She would hang a drape in between the kitchen and the living room. And if my grandfather and I came in and saw the drape, we went right back outside because we knew she was listening to the ball game. We go back down the garage, and he had 2 old wooden chairs we'd sit on, and we'd work on something, sharpening a saw blade or some shit, you know, because Grandma's listening to the ball game. Duh. Warning, warning, Will Robinson. You know, I flicked on the other TV, and I can't remember what station I put on. When I'm half asleep, I just... Do you remember a Western by the name of Bronco? I was like, Bronco? Yeah, Bronco Lane was the guy's name. Bronco Lane. Bronco. I don't remember that program. Must not have been one my parents watched. I'm trying to think what came on right after it. Oh, God, I can't think of the name of the program. Rollin', 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 keep them doggies rollin'. Oh, Rawhide. Rawhide, yeah. That came on after Bronco. I don't remember Bronco. It must not have run for a long period of time. And then Ponderosa came on after that. And then good old Death Valley Days. Sponsored by 20 Mule Team Borax. I like when they run the old commercials. I'm waiting for a Hertz commercial. Let Hertz put you in the driver's seat. They dropped the guy in the front seat. I would have liked to have been part of the production staff when they were making the Hertz commercial. I would have substituted a hardtop. I can see him drop the guy on the roof. He slide down the roof off the trunk into the pavement. Cut! Who brought that sedan in here? Me. Not everybody wants a convertible, director. Well, I need a convertible for this. Ran from 58 to 62. Former consider. Oh. I didn't know. It ran longer than I thought. Now I know. Must not have been one we watched. Because I didn't recognize it. I was like, because I'd have been 7 years old. I'd have remembered it if we watched it. Maybe because the guy, well, Confederate soldier. Interesting. Well, now I know. When it came on, I was like, what the hell's this? It was probably opposite like Red Skelton or something, you know. My parents didn't watch Bronco. Because I sure as hell don't remember it. Back in the days of good TV. And all this goddamn shit on TV today. Stupid reality programs and all the other. Although I read something recently where they're going to have a reunion of all the cast from Tool Time. Whatever show that the Tool Man is doing currently, they're having his wife and Al and one of the kids, they're having like a reunion show. They were showing some clips of it where he comes home from whatever, from work, and he walks in and there's his wife and Al Borling sitting on the couch. You know, Ron, a lot of American TV is popular in Europe. It's amazing. hearing different TV shows that we watched here that they watched over there. That's it. Shifting gears. Yeah. They're supposed to have a reunion with the cast of Tool Time. I didn't even know Tim Allen was, although I don't watch local TV because it pisses me off with all the commercials. You watch 5 minutes of program and they run 9 minutes of commercials. Jesus. At least when I'm watching on YouTube, I can blip them. An ad will run for about 10 seconds and it'll say skip, and I'm right there. Skip. I love the farmer's commercial when the guy goes, if you don't want to learn about farmers insurance, you can hit that skip button right now. And I do. Skip. Oh. Get this shit. I decided I want a glass company to take care of that regulator. So I go on safelight.com. It gives 4 locations for northeastern Ohio. No phone number. You have to place an order. Well, it says front glass, back glass, side door glass, left front, left rear. No, I don't need glass replaced. So I decided to call Progressive. So the girl said, you want to file a claim? I said, no, I want to get a quote. For what? I need a regulator installed in my door. Hold on. Girl answers the phone. Safe Light Auto Glass Division of Progressive. I go, oh, okay. Do you need to file a claim? No. I need a quote. For what? I need to have a regulator assembly installed in my door. I don't think they do that. I said, if the glass was broken, they would install the glass in the regulator assembly. My glass is not broken, but I need it installed in my regulator assembly. Hold on. She comes back on and says, here is the nationwide number for Progressive, for Safe Light. Okay, thank you. I call the nationwide number. It's an AI answering. Do you need front glass, rear glass, door glass? If you need door glass, left front, left rear, right front, right rear. I said, I need an agent. Sorry, didn't understand your prompt. Representative. Sorry, didn't understand your prompt. Customer service. Sorry, didn't understand your prompt. Which glass do you need replaced? Click! I am not going to chance installing that glass in that regulator assembly. No, I want somebody that does it every single day, that knows how to do it. I gave up on Safe Light. And the problem is, the auto glass service that used to be about 10 blocks from me is closed up. So I don't know how I'm going to get this thing installed, but I'm not messing with it. No way on earth. I want a professional. And I hate the thought of having to go to Volkswagen. Because they're not going to want to install that assembly with me providing the part. So tomorrow, I guess I'm on a search for some auto glass company that can do this for me. Because I miss not having an up and down window in my driver's door. Yeah, Evan, I know SafeLight does this. Because if the glass would have broken, they would have to put the glass in the regulator. I tried explaining to the girl, my glass isn't broken. It fell in the door, and luckily it didn't break. All it kept saying was front glass, back glass. I might have to go to a body shop. And they probably use an outside source. Because I remember when I was managing the Buick and the Chevy body shops, we didn't mess with glass or anything. We called a glass company. But the glass company that we called is no longer in business. I ordered a new regulator, Rudy. The other one's all busted. Where the glass sits in the track is stupid plastic retainers, and they broke from age. Because these manufacturers don't realize plastic ages and gets brittle. Both of the plastic retainers that slide up and down are broken. So I ordered a whole assembly. But I need somebody to put the glass in them plastic retainers without breaking them. Because I know I will end up breaking them. Because you have to know what you're doing. And I don't. Totally asinine. The car prices get going up and the quality goes down. Christ, look at all the plastic in the new cars. I am shocked at how much plastic is in the Passat. I can almost imagine what a 2026 is going to look like. That's why I'm basically, like, when I have to remove a plastic panel on the dash in order to do wiring, I cringe that I'm going to break something. Because it's old plastic. Are you laughing at Rudy? I'll fix him, Rudy. There. Take that. I'll hear about that in the morning. The old hotline will be ringing. Oh, Kathy, I'm sitting here in my comfy mini Tonka bedroom slippers. My toe was bothering me today, so when I got done working outside, I was like, oh, I want to slip into my nice furry lined mini Tonkas. Best slipper on the planet. Matter of fact, I'm going to order another pair. I'll have to go on Macy's.com and see if they have them on sale. And order another pair. Because I like to change off. Same thing with my shoes. Matter of fact, I just got a new pair. I'll have to show them to you tomorrow. I got them on clearance. They were regularly $89.99. I got them for $23. I love Macy's clearance. I really do. Good old Macy's.com. And the color is not bad. Usually you don't get a choice. But there ain't no way I am going to pay $89 for a pair of shoes. I'm cheap. I look at some of these prices. Nikes, Adidas, $120, $130, $180 for a pair of athletic shoes? I don't think so. I would be shocked to walk into a shoe store and see the prices of shoes. We used to have a big shoe store in Rocky River, Tom McGann's. And even back then, some of the shoes were a little pricey. When I go on Macy's, the first thing I click is clearance. And then I look at the shoes, and I put in my size, and either they have them or they don't. And if they have them, sometimes they're the weirdest colors on earth. I don't care. Oh, Kathy, I'd probably have heart failure. Like I say, I look at some of the prices on the clearance shoes. And like the last pair I bought, they were K-Swiss. They were originally $139.99. I got them for $28.99. I'm like, who in their right mind pays that kind of money for shoes? Now, the K-Swiss came in blood red. I don't care. I buy for comfort and price. I find myself, when I'm in the store, looking at kids' feet. And I remember the one time, this was last summer, I had a brand new pair of Adidas. Now, they were in olive drab green. I didn't give a damn. And I looked at the kid in front of me, and he had a pair of Adidas. And I says to him, how much did you pay for them shoes? $140. I said, see what I'm wearing? Yeah. I said, $29. Oh, you got seconds. I said, no. I got them on clearance. I would hate to take a family into a shoe store. I could imagine walk in with 3 or 4 kids and the bill be $1,000. And nobody wears dress shoes today. I even see the goddamn teachers coming out of my old alma mater wearing athletic shoes. Back in the day, all my teachers wore dress shoes. Not today. Maybe if you're a CEO of a corporation, but... And I'll tell you what. I think it is so disgusting to see somebody wearing a nice suit and then have tennis shoes on. I'm like, gee, couldn't you afford a pair of floor shines or something? Wear a suit with tennis shoes. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the other day, when I was at Mark's, one of the sales reps came in. And I knew she was a sales rep because she had to get an ID badge. And she had a beautiful dress on. 2-piece, like a skirt and a blouse and a nice jacket. And I looked down, and she was wearing Crocs. I thought, Crocs? You got this beautiful blouse on, you got this nice, beautiful skirt on with a jacket to match the skirt, and you're wearing Crocs. It took everything for me not to say something. Because I wanted to say to her, oh, you walked out of the house with the wrong shoes. Were you in a hurry? Crocs. And I'm going to hear it, but almost as bad as those Ugg boots. Now, I know they're comfortable. There's a time and a place to wear Ugg boots. And another thing that really disgusts me is these kids wearing these slides. They call them slides. Doesn't matter. Can't you afford good shoes? Slides. That's because some famous basketball star or football star wore slides. So every kid has to wear slides. That football star that's endorsing them shoes probably don't even wear them himself. He's just signing up for that $250,000 bonus, you know. There, we'll pay you $250,000 to advertise our slides. I remember when the big craze was Air Jordans. Every kid had to have a pair of Air Jordans. And then you would read about kids getting shot over Air Jordans. I remember my buddy bought his grandson a pair. They were like $150. I said, "You're fucking nuts. You could have bought him 20 pair of shoes for that." Go on Macy's.com. All right, Ron, have a good evening. Have another piece of pie before you go to bed. Enjoy your birthday, buddy. Have a sliver of pie for me. We'll see you tomorrow night. Take care. I'm glad he started his birthday with a slice of pie. That's the way to start the day. My wonky cup. It's the stupidest goddamn cup. But it holds like almost 2 cups of coffee. Oh, yeah, I heard sharks are throwaways. Like I said, I have a Dyson ball. I love that. It'll just about suck the carpeting off the floor. I got it for free. A friend of mine bought it. She used it once, and instead of taking it back and getting her money back, she gave it to me. She said, "You want a vacuum cleaner?" I said, "Well, no, I got a Dirt Devil." She goes, "Well, it's one of them Dyson." I said, "That's a $600 vacuum cleaner." "I know. I don't like it." I said, "Well, take it back. Tell them there's something wrong with it. Get your money back." Not worth my time. I says, "Oh, I'll take it." It's one hell of a vacuum cleaner. Although, like I say, she paid almost $600 for it. She could have taken it back and said, "Oh, it don't work right." Nope. She told me, "Here, put it in your truck. I don't like it. I love the thing because it goes under the bed. It'll suck the roots right out of my hair. It's an amazing vacuum cleaner. Absolutely amazing. And even better, for free. Oh yeah, Rudy, I got it at Mark's. 50 cents. Because it's not round. It's like they dropped it before they put it in the kiln. And it's got this big ass wonky handle on it. But it holds 2 cups of coffee, so for 50 cents it's worth it. And that's the last of the coffee. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I saw that all these wonky cups on the shelf, and I was like, Jesus, they couldn't even make them normal. They looked like a guy was carrying them over to the firing oven and dropped them all and went, oh, nobody will notice. Yeah, it's not round. It's like it got dropped before they put it in the firing oven. It's got a flat side on it. It's the wonkiest goddamn cup I ever saw. But for 50 cents... That's because I'm cheap. And I needed another cup because I broke one. Yeah. They don't make shit like they used to. I washed the cup and I set it over to dry. Now, I got those things that they use in a bar. They set the glasses on to drip dry. You know, they got whatever beer. Matter of fact, I got one that says Heineken too. Matter of fact, a barmaid gave me a couple. So I set it right at the edge, and I turned around to grab a pan off the stove, and I hit it with my elbow, and it fell in the sink, and it broke into like 6 pieces. It only fell like 6 inches. So, scooped it up, threw it away, went up and bought another cup. At least when this one, I could drop this one from the top of the Empire State Building, it wouldn't break. Yeah, I go to Mark's over in the closeout section. They got all kinds of weird shit. Although, several years ago, Mark's made national news. They had some sculptures, like you would put on a bookshelf. Well, they found out some of these sculptures had human bones inside of them. And they recalled them right away. And they took them to the coroner's office and they were busting them open. And Yeah, like somebody got chopped up and they put them in a sculpture. And oh, I'd be afraid to use that. Be my luck, I'd break it. Old China's old China's brittle, man. God, it was brittle back in the day. I remember when I broke one of the saucers from my grandmother's china. Oh, God. You would think I shot her. I thought she was going to cry. I think she did. That china belonged to my grandmother. Oh. I was like, oh, I didn't mean to break it. That's what you get for putting goddamn china out on a holiday. Especially around some young kids. Made in Bedford? Really? Walker China was in Bedford? Holy shit. I'll have to look into Bedford China. Evidently, they made it to last. How many of them do you have? Just one? The only one left in the set. Or like when grandma dies. All right, you get a plate, you get a plate, you get a plate. Okay, you get a cup, you get a cup, you get a cup, you get a saucer, you get a saucer. I was looking forward to the whole set. Well, we got to spread it around through the family. One. Okay. I remember the antique dealer didn't even want my grandmother's china. Oh, that shit don't sell. I don't know what I think she gave it a Goodwill. She wouldn't let me have it. Oh my God. You didn't even buy it? You found it in a scrap pile? I guess that makes it even better. Stole it from Bedford China's scrap pile. I'll be damned. Well, it's obvious it was made to last, but why they threw it out, maybe there was a tiny defect in it. You know, years ago, everything had to be perfect. So if there was a little defect, they were throw it away. Like today, here, perfect example. Here, it isn't even fucking round. Somebody will buy it. Yep, somebody did. Me. Back in the day, there was pride in workmanship, you know. Not today. And it's sad. We'll buy anything today. We don't care. Ugh. Oh, look at your new plates. Oh, the little blue flower line is crooked. Cover it up with a meatloaf. You know, like China back in the day was hand painted, and the designs were perfect. Now today it's like, it's crooked. So what? No quality control, no pride in workmanship. Perfect example, like my sister said, engines are going down the assembly line. You know, they're just, oh, it'll fit. There, okay. Next engine. No pride in workmanship. Not to mention how scary it is how many plastic parts are on car engines. Back in the day, you had an intake manifold and it was cast iron. Today, the intake manifold is ABS plastic. Oh, take a look at every car made. There's recalls on every car made. Even Lexus. But they don't publicize theirs. They do a silent recall. They don't want people to know that a Lexus isn't A1 perfect anymore. Matter of fact, I'm going to call the dealer for the hell of it. When I looked up the VIN number, I've got 4 recalls on the Passat. I'm going to ask him, can I get these taken care of? No. Too old. Years ago, anybody could get a recall taken care of for free. Not today. If you don't get it done within so much amount of time, sorry. Drive an unsafe vehicle. We don't care. Maybe I could tell him, hey, while it's in for recall, I think there's a recall on that door regulator. Here's a new one. Put it together for me. Well, I'm out of coffee and I'm out of cigarettes. So I think it's about that time. Not to mention, it's time to make some dinner. So let's call it a night here.
We'll meet again, don't know when.
everybody. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again tomorrow night. Take care, everyone. See ya.